could say the same. Fire
Recording
away.
in progress.
Good to go. Hey. Um, Obviously, we just got the news that
Yeah.
Slim is out. Kind of just update on how she felt as she went through her warm up or whatever you guys did, and how you envision um, lineup looking without her.
Yeah. She's always going to put on like a positive, and that's that a positive face, and that's what I was feeling today. We had conversation, and then I got back into the building, and it's a no go. So. I think that I think as much as anything, it's precautionary. I'm hoping we're not looking at anything that's long term, lower leg, you know. But it's hard because Slim's a competitor. Like I mean, you should speak to her. I know she would want to play, but I think we're being wise just in terms of just so many games in a short period of time. And honestly, we want our athletes for the long haul. So trusting our medical people and trusting our competitive spirit, but just wanting to do the best for us. As it relates to our rotation, obviously those are some minutes there that are freed up. Whether that's a Lucy and Emily that we know we've played at the three at times, even though she's obviously a good four. You know, Jade, Shug, Sonia will obviously call on them, and we'll just kind of see where the game takes us.
Jade start.
Um, I mean, I don't think I'm giving too much away to say yeah, she's gonna start. Yeah.
Slow down.
He did. He did. I was trying to hold out Kareem, but that's fair. That's fair.
So I may have missed something at shoot around, but just what happened with Slim? If there was a moment or just tightness, or what changed this morning? I
Yeah,
guess.
there wasn't a happening. I mean, like, she I know she fell awkwardly near the end of the game and battled it through. That's what she is. And then yesterday, there were no issues that I was made aware of. And then this morning it was, hey, we just kind of want to put her through some things because she's a little bit tender. And then again, just Slim being Slim, I'm not thinking too much of it. Not being dismissive, but just knowing she's a fighter. So that was pretty much how it played out. And again, like I'm not one to roll the dice. These games are precious. There's no doubt about that. But I also just want them to have I want them to have a season. Not a moment, many moments. And so just deferring to what we've been advised to do for this evening.
You mentioned Emily as one of many options you have to help take some of those minutes. How much do you look at this as a chance to maybe get some more time with those three big lineups now that you don't have Slim?
Yeah, we'll see what the game asks from us. Again, Emily's had her moments, her bright moments, I should say. Lucy as well. And then Jade, Shug, Slim, Sonya. They've carried the load. So we'll just got to see how it plays out. Like I said, tip my hand that Jade will get that start. But we'll kind of see how the first quarter plays out and go from there.
Just one more for you, different topic. You've mentioned Kira's leadership and how it's grown, and leadership seems like something that can be really hard for a veteran, let alone like a young player like Kira. So curious, kind of how you've seen her figure out what that looks like for her so early in her career, relatively speaking.
I mean, there's a direct correlation between her being acknowledged by the league as player of the week, amongst the best players in the world, and her, as you said, her leadership and how she's carrying herself as a professional and as a teammate. She's always been talented. She could always hoop, but we're playing better with her because she's pulling people around. I mean, she had the game-winning assist. I mean, and it wasn't. I mean, it was a remarkable pass. She gathered herself, sensed the double team, took her time, zipped it over her shoulder to a wide open Sonia the other night. And these are plays that she's been stacking in practice and in game moments. So I think that there's a correlation between the other things beyond talent and being recognized by folks going, ooh, they're growing something there, and Shakira is really, carving out something special. So it's cool to see. Want to try to continue to foster it, and hopefully we'll get some more of that this evening.
With Fee being out tonight, how do you anticipate Minnesota kind of changing things for them and some of their key points?
I mean, she's, obviously Fee's, she's an MVP. She's wonderful. I mean, just a wonderful basketball player. But I think they have their culture and their style of play well established. We're still writing the pages, so to speak, in terms of who we are with the youth that we have. Whereas they are seasoned and championship caliber, and so notwithstanding Fee's greatness, truly great player, but they know what they're trying to do. It's a credit to their coaching staff and their players. So expect them to play really hard, share the basketball. That's what we've seen. The league has seen from the Lynx for some time now.
As for Sonia and some of the matchups she's had this season, she obviously covered Enrique a little bit last game when some got in foul trouble. Tonight, I'm assuming she's going to get some on Kayla McBride. Obviously, the reps are very important for her to get in a rookie season. But maybe what are some of the other things you're charting for her with her success and measuring how she does in those matchups?
I think she's a really good player. I don't think I'm alone in that. So just like the moments like you saw the other day where we kind of rode like her hotness, her hot hand, and looked for her in key moments. That last three being a big one. Big free throws. Just so I think like clutch. I think clutch is something that we don't want to like force on her, but definitely allow space for without question, and see where we go. And early signs. I mean, it's just kind of consistent with her being able to come through more often than not. Yeah, defensively, no, thanks, Tyler. It's, defensively, we started her on Paige, then on Enrique. Sometimes we brought help, sometimes we left her on an island. And I shouldn't say on an island, but more like one-on-one. So, yeah, I think that, like, the versatility of different game plans and different schemes we've been able to throw at her, and she really hasn't, like, faltered. And then, yeah, like, down the stretch, would she guard the best player at times? We're still kind of going back and forth on that with Slim in terms of, who's playing a big impact. But, yeah, from a defensive standpoint, I just see, like, being able to scheme with her, which is, like, a big deal for a rookie. She's not like a one-note type of player, but that speaks to, like, a lot of aspects of her game. All right, thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to ask really quick about the offense without Slim here. Do you anticipate playing fast, playing slower? Because you do have a new young team,
Yeah.
and you talked about the offense multiple times of, hey, sometimes we're just missing shot, missing money. So do you anticipate playing faster, slower? Like, how does the offense now look without Slim?
It definitely looks. I mean, Slim's getting what, close to. Well, she's getting like 9, close to 10 free throws a game, right? So her ability to get downhill is well established against all types of different teams. So our downhill threat looks different. I do still think that we can, post, but then they're going to bring help or make it difficult to catch. But the ability to attack off the dribble downhill will look drastically different without Slim. That being said, a challenge for us as a team with or without Slim against Minnesota in particular is to move the basketball. If we don't move it, if it sticks, they are so good, in terms of just you dribbling the heck out of it and loading up. They know exactly what they're trying to do. So we have to move it and try to have them lose us a little bit. And, so that's a big challenge for us. And we'll see in a bit if we can pull that off for 4 quarters.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.